welcome to First Impressions. My name is K.C'arl Li, and this is Jaysen Headley.
Hey, I'm Jaysen Headley.
Yeah, and so First Impressions is about where we talk about our initial thoughts on comic books, TV shows, video games, and movies, and I don't know, sometimes other things, but never really.
Yeah.
And so today we're going to be talking about comics, which was for today, which was December
11. Or 10.
I
think it's December 10th.
You're the one who told me it was the 10th.
I don't know.
Well, in any case, December 10th comics, and then we're going to talk a little bit about The Flash yesterday and Arrow today.
Yep.
So yesterday was Tuesday and Wednesday now, so that's why.
Yep.
In case you're watching this on Monday. Anyways, and then are we going to talk about any games this week?
Yeah, we're going to talk really briefly about Game of Thrones from Telltale episode 1. So we'll briefly touch on that.
Nice. He's all into those Telltale games now. Yeah. So, December 10th, comics, first impressions. Jaysen, what do we got here? You want to talk about rating system real quick?
Yeah, we've got 5 stars, so that's 2 stars for artwork, 2 stars for writing, and 1 very special star if we think it deserves it. If, however, we're rating a television, video game, or movie, we just go on a whim and give it. It's still a 5-star system, and you get to interpret because we want you to be very involved.
Interpret your face.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So first up is Afterlife with Archie, number 7. So this is the first issue, really the first issue of the new arc, because the last issues have dealt with Sabrina, and then we started Sabrina. So this is new, and we kind of come into this issue getting like Betty's like writing in her diary, and she's trying to recreate her diaries from when she's a little kid, and so she's talking about like, and I'm friends with Veronica, but Veronica's kind of a jerk, and then my sister Polly's kind of a jerk, and it's very it's got kind of that feel to it. It's got a very Archie feel, even though they're running from zombies.
Dark.
It's a good start to a new arc. There is a lot of sort of setting up that love triangle between Archie, Betty, and Veronica. And I mean, everybody who knows Archie knows that storyline, but it's nice to kind of reaffirm that that's going to be a big issue here. And then there's a big twist at the end. Somebody new dies. What can I say about this book that I haven't already said? If you're not reading this and you have any interest in good comics or horror comics or good horror comics, you should be, because it's, quite frankly, the only other good horror comic I can think of on the market right now is Rachel Rising. This is so good. You have got to read it. It is awesome. Give it 5 stars.
I love the color scheme. It's all like, you know,
oh, it's awesome. It's got this very like
sunsetty,
like old school movie kind of vibe. Like it has this sort of color scheme of a movie you'd go to watch in like a drive-in theater.
And next, we got the bats up to the girl 37. Batgirl, bling 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 bling. It's all blinging all over her face. I can't believe Jaysen didn't read this and review it himself, because I know he likes it more than I do. And the reason why, I kind of have a hard time saying why I don't like it as much, but there's something about it that makes me want to read it when I see it, and I definitely want to support it and read it because it's different. And I actually like it because it's different. The art is great, even the storytelling is different, even though there's still superhero elements in it. You know, there's still like the villain of the month type of feel to it. Actually it really feels much like that, the villain month, but they're somewhat inventive and creative, and it shows a little side of the DC universe that we haven't seen before. It's a little more, you know, indie feel to it, but I don't love it, but I still want to give it a chance and support it because of what it is. So
I feel like part of that comes from the fact that I, a lot of times, like indie stuff a little bit more than you. Just kind of inherently, I like stuff that's a little bit more Scott Pilgrim-y indie sort of thing. And you're a little bit more, like, really mainstream.
I just haven't really... She hasn't grown on me yet, this new version of her yet. Yeah. It's still a little... well, let's see what happens in issue 3. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm still going to get a chance, but I love these characters from Clarion. They look so dope. And I love the descriptions. This is an ad inside Batgirl 37, which is probably in all of the DC comics this month.
So what'd you get, Batgirl?
The art is great. The story, it's okay, but still different. So I'm going to give it like a 3.5.
Cool. Very nice.
Love the cover, though.
What's up next? I'll just talk about this one really, really briefly.
Rat-Gas, Rat-Cat.
We got Rocket Raccoon to start.
Raccoon,
whatever. I think this is just a kind of one-shot story. I still really love this book. I probably won't give it a rate. If I had to give it a rate, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 or a 4. The art's great. I love the story. It's really cute. The dog in it's adorable. The robot's adorable. It's funny. I love it. I'm going to keep getting it, so there you go.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Next, we got a new Boom title called Biatch Planet. And it's by Kelly Sue McCormick, and who's the artist? Valentine Delandro.
Oh.
Valentine. I am really very much enjoying the pace of this book. This is kind of like future Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Not really, but it could be. A little bit more violent. And the story elements in it so far, there's like a little, what do you call it? A little trick, a spoiler, what am I trying to say? Twist, thank you. Spoiler, trick, twist. There's a twist in the storyline so far, and it's pretty interesting, and so I really like it so far. And it's a very comfortable, easy pace. I don't feel like, what a chore. It's actually very easy. It's almost like a TV show, actually. So I'm very much enjoying it. The characters are introduced, I really like. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Awesome.
I wonder if this is a miniseries. Anyways, yeah. Non-compliant. Bitch, pee on it.
Cool.
Next we got Shut Her.
Shutter number what? 7?
7.
So as far as Shutter goes, some of you may remember that I loved issue 6, and when I turned the last page and was like, oh my god, I have to wait until December to read it. I was so happy to see it back on the shelf today. This book is fantastic. And more than anything, now that it's come back, I feel like the storytelling is a little bit more together. Like, it feels a little bit more streamlined. There were times in like the older issues where I would get a little bit confused, like what's going on? And I didn't feel that once in this issue. It was much more streamlined. I still love the characters. I love the artwork. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but because I gave Archie a 5, but I'm also going to give Shutter 7 a 5.
Ooh,
and I'm also going to throw out there that one very special star goes to the back cover, which is used as a last time on, which is something that I said about Shutter a while ago. I was like, man, this is a book that could really use a last time on because so much happens in every issue and it's such a crazy world to keep track of. That's great. I love that. I love everything about it. It didn't disappoint. The action in this book, by the way, is freaking out of this world. There are birds with like guns for heads. Like, that's so cool. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. Can't wait for the next issue.
But the star is just because of his back page, otherwise it'd be 4.
Well, there's other things, but a big part of it is I love that there's a last time.
I'm trying not to look through it because he was like, oh my god, I can't look through it because he was so insane.
Because it was such a big cliffhanger in the last issue.
I'm an issue behind, so I could not read it.
So good.
This is what else we got this week. Believe it or not, I didn't get a lot of comics this week. And you know why? It's because we're not reviewing as many comics, so I don't have to read as many, and so I'm behind on certain issues. Certain books, and so I'm not buying them until I catch up, which, I don't know, could be problematic because now I'm buying less and we're doing less, but we're doing some other things.
Yeah, exactly.
But the 2 other books I got, believe it or not, are Batman Eternal number 36, and I'm actually cutting this off next week because I'm like 5 books behind now, 5 issues behind. 4. And we got the Valiant number 1, Jeff Lemire and Matt Clint.
We're excited to read it.
I mean, I'm just giving it a shot. I like a lot of the Valiant titles and ideas in the universe, so I'm just checking it out. So that's that.
Not super crazy long, but let's really quickly thoughts on the Flash last night. Flash mid-season finale was last night.
I can't even remember it after tonight's Arrow season finale. What the hell happened in
Here's my thoughts on the Flash, and especially now after we've seen the Arrow.
No, just stay right there. Don't quit. I remember now.
Yeah.
Spoiler. It's so. It's fine. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Jesus Christ.
So, the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, was introduced finally.
Yes, and of course we know him normally as Eobot Dawn, but then there's all these rumors that maybe, total spoilers, but maybe it's actually his son who came back in the past to use his, future technology knowledge to build, this Star Labs and blah, 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 blah. And I thought, that's really kind of interesting. But there were other questions. What other questions I have about that?
Sure. Those are all theories. My big thing on the episode was I like that Reverse Flash was there. I like that Firestorm was there. I don't think the two of them really meshed in an episode. Like, those two concepts, the only reason they meshed was because that last scene where Firestorm shows goes, whoosh, and then takes off. Firestorm. Yeah. I could have done with 2 separate episodes because together it just seemed like 2 completely different storylines that they were trying to jam pack into this one episode.
Out of nowhere.
And I really, truthfully, my favorite scene of the whole episode, I think, was when Barry is telling, what's the name of that girl I hate? I can't remember the girl he likes. What's her name?
Iris.
Iris. Also, it's losing a star because Iris is still alive.
But there was that touching moment with Iris that was better, right?
Well, I loved when Barry told Iris that he loved her. I thought that was really great. That was really rewarding. I still really liked the show. I just thought that episode was it had like an identity crisis. I didn't know if it was talking about Reverse Flash or Firestorm or, and I really loved Caitlin had this scene where she talked about how she really, really, really wanted to see her boyfriend again. That's all she wished for. And now that she saw him, she was like, man, I wish I had never seen him again.
I wish he had died.
And I thought that was such a good scene. So well written. Any other thoughts on the episode?
I just feel like I'm missing stuff about it, but I remember these teas next season. Well, not next season, but
the second half
of the season, and that was kind of exciting because they're touching more on other stuff, like of him needing to be able to run faster, to be stronger, and that's going to lead up to other stuff.
All the Speed Force stuff, So that we can get into Arrow, what would you give Flash last night?
I can barely. I feel like I don't remember. In the cameo appearance by what's her name, who is Tina, what's her face, the scientist from the original Flash 90s series, who is playing the same character 20 years later. How amazing is that? No, I don't know any show that's done that. And the same thing's going to be happening with Mark Hamill as the Trickster. How amazing is that?
Cool. That's really cool.
That's so exciting. I mean, I wanted to say 4, but I'm having trouble remembering certain elements of it. I think the momentum is great. It's much better than the first season of Arrow.
That's true.
I'll give it 4.
I think I'm gonna give it I don't usually do 0.5s. That's usually a thing, but I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Yeah, it's either 3.5 or 4. Oh, K.C'arl.
Freaking Arrow.
Mid-season finale.
Holy crap! What an episode.
I didn't love it.
Oh, I loved it. There was not a single scene I didn't like.
I was totally not feeling and hating the whole Ra's al Ghul thing. I'm like,
I loved that.
It's too Batman. We're too in the Batman universe.
First of all, is there such a thing as too Batman?
Well, listen, it's like taking Batman and then taking out the trappings of Batman. But it's really just him. It's just Batman is Oliver Queen,
Yeah.
But I like all the little elements. I was really hoping that we were gonna see not Sarah, not Dinah, Laurel as Black Canary. I thought that was gonna be the end stinger, but there was something that
so
killed.
Insane,
Like if they did Laurel come out at the end stinger, it would have been flat.
Like after that end stinger, if Laurel showed up, we would have been like, who cares?
Yeah, it's like, okay, I gotta say I was very impressed with what they did with the stinger at the end because of how I was not sold on Ra's al Ghul. This is the only way they could have done it to sell me on it. Because I was like, really?
Because nothing about him is really threatening yet,
Yeah, so what happened at the end, I guess we're not really telling people, but you know what happens. You saw it, right?
Right.
I think that's smart. I wonder, that made me think, is that going to lead into what happens in the comics? Not directly, but in the comics, spoiler alert, Oliver Queen dies in the comics, and then that's when Connor Hawke comes in.
Oh.
And takes over as Green Arrow.
Yeah.
You see that?
I'm sure he's not. I'm sure Stephen Amell's not dead. Like,
of course
let's
not.
be real. But...
Well, he comes back in the comic too.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Maybe that. Oh my God, the guy walking up on him, and when they're showing the next.
It's Connor Hawke.
It's Connor Hawke.
Cool. I mean, here's the thing about this episode was, unlike The Flash, it was very on point. Like the story they wanted to tell was like very, very on point the whole episode. And the whole thing with Ra's al Ghul, I loved the fight scene. I loved how they ended it.
Yeah,
I think,
Deathstroke
was scary because they like really took their time to make him scary. Like when he came at the villain at the end, we were like, I just didn't know how. We knew he was that Arrow was gonna beat him, but we had no idea how. And so when you bring a character like Ra's al Ghul, you have to make him threatening. You have to make him more threatening than Deathstroke. So the fact that just happened, that kind of like really ups the stakes for Oliver because now he's like, man, I'm really not invincible,
And then this was a surprise to me too. OMAC. O-M-A-C.
Oh my God, we completely forgot about the Atom suit.
So basically, Atom, A-T-O-M, is the technology, and the actual suit is an OMAC.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice
great.
to be able to incorporate that. That's really, really cool.
I say this all the time when we watch the show. I don't know if I've actually said this while we do the
loves
review,
Brandon Routh,
but
and
I
he's great.
love Brandon Routh as that character. I think it's the best character that
Very
he
good
has
touch.
ever played. I love him as this character. He could have his own show, in my opinion. I think he's so fantastic on the show. Please do not pull a Sarah and kill him. He is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, the characters who are really falling off, who just aren't really great this season so far, is Roy Harper.
Yeah, just Roy. Everybody else is good for me. Roy is boring the crap out of me.
And Thea is great. I love what's going on with Laurel.
Yeah, Laurel's great this season.
The detective, he's just whatever. He's okay, actually. He's fine. And I hear Sin is coming back.
Oh, yes! All right. Well, we're running long on time, so what would you give this episode?
4 or 5, how was that?
I would give it a 5.
We talked about so much crap. Give it a 4 or 5, y'all.
Loved it. All right, so really briefly, I'll just touch on Telltale Games. Just released their first episode of Game of Thrones. Iron and Ice, or Iron from Blood, or Blood from Iron that's cold, something. But I don't know, something. Episode 1 just came out. We play as 3 different characters in the House Forrester. We get to kind of meet, we see Tyrion there. We get to see Cersei a little bit. It takes place in the world. I love what Telltale's doing. So recently I've sort of gone on a Telltale binge, and I'm playing like everything they've ever done because I've just suddenly realized how much I love it.
You started with Borderlands, right?
I played the first episode of Borderlands and freaking loved it. And then I did Wolf Among Us.
And then you went back.
Then I did Game of Thrones. And now I'm doing Walking Dead.
He's going back and doing Walking Dead. And he's totally loving it.
And it's really, really exciting, especially as someone who is since I am a writer, I love seeing the way they craft these stories. But holy crap, Game of Thrones, way to give me all these options, get me totally invested, and then completely pull. What's great about Telltale is that they pulled a Game of Thrones and just kill off. I mean, hopefully you've played it, but if you haven't played it, I would turn this off right now. But the end is just I gasped out loud. I mean, you're sitting in the room. Chapter. Yeah, the end of the first chapter, I gasped. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened." Yeah. And what I really truly love about it is that it's so political, just like the show, but it's stressful. You're trying to navigate all the politics of all these characters, and you know how crazy all of it is on the show, so you're trying to say what you think the characters want to say, and then it just bites you in the ass every time. But really, really liked it. I can't wait to see. I feel like there were a lot of slow moments in the middle, so I'm going to give it a 4, but I can't wait to see what happens on the next episode, and we will definitely review it when it comes out. Well, anyway, the holidays are coming up. We're going to try and get as many shows in as we can every week. The only week that might be rough is actually Christmas week, so we'll see what happens that week. But
probably won't be comics out that week anyway.
Right, exactly. So we'll probably skip that week, but other than that, make sure that you're following our Twitters.
No more Flash.
Yeah, there's no more Flash, no more Arrow. It's going to be a little rough.
At Cucamonga Cat.
We are probably going to try and do a review, if we like it, of the new Marco Polo show on Netflix.
Okay, yeah. At K.C'arl K. Lee. Yeah. And visit our blogs. JaysenHeadleyWrites.wordpress.com, K.C'arl.lives.wordpress.com.
Yep, that's right.
I don't even know my own website.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, and so please subscribe, and comment right down there.
Right, and there's a like button there too.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's something we should be reading that we're not reading. Let us know what you like. Is there a TV show that just started that we don't know about that we should be reviewing?
S.H.I.E.L.D. We need to watch S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
And we think we're going to start watching
S.H.I.E.L.D.
That. So we
dropped that. I can say shit, right? We dropped that shit.
We didn't like it in the first season, but now we're hearing such good things. We're probably going to pick up S.H.I.E.L.D. And if you guys watch the show ever, you know we're not big Marvel people. We read a lot more DC.
Marvel.
Okay, I don't know about that. That's not to say we don't love Marvel, but we like DC a lot. So it's good. It's hard for us to really go into something like that, but I think we're going to give it a chance. So we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Wow, that's with the Christmas tree blinking in the background. This is terrifying. Have a great week, guys.
Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time, our first impressions.
That's not a good Christmas song.
No, it's not. It's Christmas time, our first impressions. It's Christmas time on First Impressions! Welcome!
Look at our tree. Isn't this so pretty? Look at all the cute little ornaments. Yeah, there's a Jigglypuff. Where's Pikachu? Oh no, where's Pikachu? Oh, there's Pikachu. That's really cute, right? Yeah. There's a monster. There's a Groucho. Oh my god, I completely forgot. So K.C'arl made this grifter one. Isn't that so cool?
And there's the crow.
And there's the crow. And now somebody's phone is ringing. And There's Jigglypuff and there's Pac-Man. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.